he had no idea what the fuck he was even talking about and shit. But it's so fun to me because now I fuck with right wingers so hard. And anytime they might like kind of cast a little bit of doubt on me, I'm like, oh yeah, well I've been in a fucking documentary with Jordan Peterson. Have you? None of them can say yes.
I beefed with him on Twitter. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts. Yeah. That's good enough. That's all right.
Yeah. I haven't been in a documentary with Jordan Peterson, but I'm on a court case with Baked Alaska.
Yeah, Vaush, you have quite an impressive beef resume. You know, like J.K. Rowling. That's top tier beefage.
I'm really racking it up. The J.K. Rowling thing was fucking out of nowhere. It was the most banal, unimpressive misogyny on the platform, and she just decided to signal boost that. Really fucking weird. The Jordan Peterson one makes sense though. We're oomfies, so we see each other's posts. You know, it's like we're friends.
Yeah. At least you didn't platform him like Ethan Klein.
Well, not positively. I want to platform him, but I would love to talk to him because JP's big thing for years, like he's always said crazy shit, but like he masked it with this like veneer of professional academia. You know, like it would always be delivered in this, you know, like non-sensational way, I guess. And now he's like totally fucking crazy. His shit for the Daily Wire.
His cinematic videos are so good. He has like kind of what we saw from Trump earlier, how his promo video was so cinematic.
Yeah.
Now Jordan Peterson has these little like movie trailers where he's playing I don't know, the next villain in the Expendables.
Yeah, no, he looks like a psychopath. He looks like fucking Mengele, one of the like Nazi doctors at Auschwitz. Like he has this like bony skull face with skin stretched taut over it and this permanent like empty scowl. He's wild to look at, but he doesn't have like that soft paternalism anymore. He comes off really hateful in the shit that he puts out now, and even his fans notice it, right? Like there were people revolting on social media, like Reddit and stuff, when he joined up with the Daily Wire and put out those videos. People noticed the change because a lot of his fans are like, you know, I don't know, kind of conservative, misguided teens. They're not all fascists like he is.
Right. I have a theory on him. Well, part of it was him getting sober. Like, I think that's part of his demeanor changing a lot. But then also, you know, I'm pretty sure he got fired because of him not using people's pronouns and stuff. So he couldn't work as a psychology professor anymore. He monetized moving to the right. Like the right embraced him. And as the right goes farther right, he gets his audience, his base goes further right and gets like crazier and wackier and more extreme. He has to follow them.
So it's kind of he quit the teaching gig, but he kept his tenure for I think 3 years.
Okay.
And Dr. Mr. Cody Shoddy, Some More News, just did this fucking massive 3-hour-long video on Jordan Peterson. But I'm already pretty well versed, but it's a great starting point for a lot of people like diving into it.
Starting point 3 hours to fucking the odyssey of. I mean that's how it is these days. A lot of figures.
If you ever want to criticize Jordan Peterson, you have to watch every single video he's ever released, or you don't know what you're talking about.
Ooh, I'm live streaming.
Yeah, that's the joke. Like that's why they titled it "A Brief Look at Jordan Peterson." Why don't look at the time code. So he quit voluntarily.
Okay.
Then he finally gave up his tenure like 3 years later. Now I think that the reason why he's so fucking unhinged is because of the coma. I think it's because of the coma. He decided. That's a great pause game right there. He decided.
Looks like a Nazi doctor. He does.
This is when he was streaming and he didn't realize it until the end. He streamed for like 5 minutes talking to his wife.
Wait, I missed this. Wait.
You got to watch. Let it play because he doesn't talk that much. Let it play till she walks in.
I'll talk about the coma after this. I want to see this shit. Let's go.
Well, he doesn't really talk much until his wife walks in.
Yeah,
because he doesn't realize he's on camera for a long time.
He started streaming, I think, to look at himself in the camera, but he didn't realize that he started streaming.
Oh my fucking God.
The look on his face when he realizes it, I wish he would have done something like, it's kind of mundane, most of it. I wish he would have just started like banging his wife, or like if he would have said like something crazy, or like who knows, like some crazy stuff.
It would have been awesome.
The
Phil,
thing we're
Jordan
missing is
Peterson.
that hearing him say the hard R with his voice would actually be very funny. It would actually be incredibly comedic to hear that.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, it just sounds like a conversation between two old people, like an old married couple, which is literally what it is.
I
But
just want to see. This is just so fascinating to me that
Right?
the idea that even a figure as powerful as him can look at the like start record button and not notice the red light. You could, whatever software he's using, it's like he's mean mugging himself in the camera flight. When did this happen? Was this recent?
This
was
was
a couple years
yeah,
ago.
it was a
Couple
while ago.
years. Okay. But yeah, I didn't hear about this. Damn. I'm happy that he's acting like way more far right because he's pretty openly fascist now. I mean, the stuff he said about trans people is essentially genocidal, in nature. But this means he's less effective as like a pipeline entry point over to the far right because he's moved farther to the right. So you have to be farther right to listen to him and think like, if you were agreeing with the stuff that he says now, I think you're already almost as far over as you would be like going all the way down that pipeline. You know what I mean?
No, I
Yeah.
think 100% of the money on that. Yeah.
I've heard older lectures of his that are online that have nothing to do with political stuff or like trans issues. And he sounded like he has reasonable ideas in his head in some
I think he was a
places.
reasonable man that got
Yeah.
an unreasonable amount of attention, and it turned him into
That's-
an unreasonable man.
I agree.
No, I'm gonna push back on that. I'm gonna push back on that. And honestly, it's because something that because I've dived into Peterson quite a bit in the past.
Now he's watching sorry. He sorry to interrupt, but he starts watching like Steven Crowder and they call Obama like a communist or something, and he like smirks a little bit for a second here.
That's it.
This is why it matters. Because Donald Trump
It
has
does
not
not
done that.
matter.
Donald Trump has not
It
done
does
that.
not matter. We are not going to Obama to compare
Is Obama
Obama.
a fascist?
Oh, a fascist. Yeah, see him smirk there?
See that smirk was him thinking. He was thinking the hard R, and the smirk came on. He was just thinking it.
The team at Some More News, they uncovered something that I didn't even quite realize either. The whole concept that Jordan Peterson has been operating on, and serious, I cannot shout out that fucking video by Some More News enough. It's their latest one, a brief look at Jordan Peterson. His whole thing is based on hierarchical structure. So it's a fucking triangle. It's a whole lobster fucking debate. And all of this is based on bad science. And this is what he's been talking about for like 10 years, way before he was actually like famous, everything he's been filling kids' heads with is wrong, is actually wrong. And like his biggest supporter, there was a great fucking article that was put out by one of his mentors who got him his job at the University of Toronto. And he's like, he is actually a dangerous person. I told him that he is taking wild conclusions and teaching it as true. And he would agree, and then he'd keep fucking doing it. So no, I don't think he's ever been fucking reasonable. I think he's always been a lunatic.
What was some of the wild conclusions he was pulling off?
Okay, so here's a good one. He says this all the time, like hierarchical structures in society and inside all of us, how we operate, how we interact with each other is older than trees. And it's older than trees because we can see it happen in lobsters. But the problem is he's basing this on the effects of serotonin on lobsters. The problem is serotonin affects invertebrates exactly opposite as invertebrates. So his basic premise of a neurochemical affecting lobsters, and so it should affect us as well, which reinforces the social hierarchy, is wrong because it affects us exactly the opposite as it affects lobsters. The whole
So
thing is based entirely on bullshit. All of it. Total bullshit.
So, are you saying we shouldn't eat people?
I don't think he said that.
Okay.
There are a lot of early warning signs. I haven't watched what you're referring to. The whole cultural Marxism thing is always a huge red flag because it's just a rehabilitated Nazi theory. But yeah, I think I mean I think wherever it is, I think we can all agree, like wherever he was, like the brain damage has worsened because right now
Yes.
he is like leagues farther over. I guess I don't know how much of it is his positions changing versus his ability to keep the like sane aesthetic going changing. I genuinely don't know, but it's I don't fucking know, man. Saying like looking at just a fat chick on Twitter and it's going like the fact that I saw this as fascism, ugly,
Right.
I will not succumb. And then
Not-
getting
Yeah.
mad when
Well-
other people can make fun
Yeah.
of you is insane. Actually insane.
I loved his opinion on the fat swimsuit model. When he's yelling at the big girl being on Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. He's losing his cool. He's like, a real woman is shaped like a Barbie doll,
Yeah.
made of plastic, no nipples. That's what I need. Not a roly-poly chunk to fuck.
You see,
Here
God,
she,
God,
here she comes.
God designed woman to
Here comes Ma.
look
Dum, 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 dum. She walks like she's on the cover of that swimsuit edition. She's thudding around that room.
I really wonder how Jordan Peterson would look if he had a kind expression, because he's never had one. But you
No.
know, he's there's
RBF.
his face is so thin. Everything about it is so emaciated. I'm just curious.
Normal person. Let's fund the government so we can have stuff at work and have laws that respect everyone like the founding fathers wanted conservatives. That sounds like communism.
True and
Amen.
good.
It's a global news article on the Bedford is returning Ontario to a 1998 sex ed curriculum. Some teachers are fighting back. Okay, I just want to show you the end of it.
This is their sex life when she has to wobble in the room with a fucking article about sex ed.
This could have been so dangerous. I'm getting like secondhand anxiety here. The idea of accidentally being live and having a conversation in front of my camera is like this is like a potentially devastating. You know, you're just flipping the coin or tossing the dice on
Oh,
what
yeah.
wacky shit
you
you're going to be
know,
talking about.
You know who Darkside Phil is?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he accidentally jerked off during a live stream.
Yeah.
You could only see his face, but you knew there was no question about what he was doing.
Every time a woman's ever walked in my room like this to show me something, I've 100% of the time pulled out one of her titties and started sucking on it while she reads to me.
Right, like
I can't not do that.
yeah, if you're in a that's actually true though, right? Like if you had a girlfriend, you know, and just wander by, there's like a decent shot that you're going to like punch a tit or something. Did you guys see that? Wait, real quick, did you guys see that girl on Twitch who went live and just spread her naked ass to the camera? And it turns out that she was recording shit for OnlyFans, but hit broadcast instead of record, and because of that she only got a week ban or something.
No.
Queen. I've accidentally hit broadcast instead of record a couple of times, but I don't make OnlyFans. I just sit there and like take pictures of myself with my shirt off playing Magic cards.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I'm not. I don't. The only time I wear pants is if I'm out of the house or streaming.
The
So
frog needs to stop
I
being
don't think
transphobic.
YouTube
Great.
won't ban you for walking around in your briefs, but Twitch will. So as long as I'm off Twitch, that shouldn't be an issue.
Well, Twitch also banned you for saying cracker too. Like
Yeah,
is
Twitch will
just
get me for
ridiculous.
anything. That's why I don't fucking stream there anymore.
Yeah.
So the end of it,
Kermit Peterson.
she says, no, just wait, I'll show you.
Wait, just wait.
Don't
wait.
touch.
No. You have to put up with me for a little while longer, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is what
You're wasting my
so that's the
time.
difference between them.
I'm crying over all the lonely men out there. Will you please leave me alone?
A silent eulogy to
So
all the
gender
incels.
identity,
Yeah.
39, yeah.
Yeah. So the
So he's talking about them teaching 39 gender identities. Is that what he's talking about?
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
That's a lovely little graph.
That's a lovely little graph right there, Martha.
no, so the
JP
teachers-
looks like the sort of person that wears a suit and tie just hanging around the house.
Oh,
One
fuck.
must be properly dressed.
I didn't even process that.
I hope he was going to record something, right? But the lighting in the room is not like he's going to record something. Maybe he was going to a banquet, a function.
Yeah.
But if he does just wear a suit and tie around the house,
He's Onision.
He's actually just about to get in the shower. Yeah.
That's his shower jacket.
We had Onision over here once, and he came over in a 3-piece suit.
But that was at the beginning of New Year's. His New Year's resolution was to
Kermit is a bitch.
It was his New Year's resolution to wear a suit every other day of the year.
That dude, with how hot Pacific Northwest gets these days.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Jesus.
Yeah.
Saying, I think it's more of a human rights issue, right? This is teaching our little kids.
Fucking pricks.
Fucking pricks.
Those fucking pricks.
Those fucking pricks with their cute little graph and their 39 genders. Someday we'll ban it. The Rainbow Coalition.
We're proud of ourselves to be part of a movement that was run by common parents, which is what is happening now, right? So the faith-based and who got it passed, that's a little bit about them. But the rest of it, all of it, is all about how horrible it is.
How horrible.
The changes.
Yeah, well, it's okay. He did it. So
Yeah, he did it.
yeah.
People are really, like, the teachers, even Jackie is like, Doug Ford is,
The look on his face when he realizes he's streaming is so great.
wrecking this.
Oh,
and
it's
you got
good.
to petition not to follow him. It's like, they're so ill-informed.
Ben, can you show Vaush Kermit's a bitch?
Sure,
Father Dr. Holiday.
I'll get that in a second.
Yeah, I have to
You
learn.
like the graph there at the end.
That was good, wasn't it?
Yep.
I tried to save it, but I couldn't save it. God, stupidity. Really forgot
He
his
notices
sunglasses.
any second
He says,
now.
haha, neither of us are surprised. He always forgets them there. He does. He always forgets his sunglasses. His jaw's starting to look a lot better.
I like how she's still trying to keep his attention. He's over it. He really doesn't care for her much.
That laser is a
In one ear, not the
worker.
other. I'm waiting for
Yeah,
it.
you think so?
Oh yeah, you think so?
Oh
Eh?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
only been,
Mm-hmm.
I think, 5 days and his jaw's down to its proper size.
He's so over her, and she knows. She's gonna go look
I
for
don't
more
have holes in
trans
my
bait she can read to him.
You're gonna have holes in your mouth, you know. You are.
Was that it? Someone
Yes,
messaged
dear.
him.
I'm live streaming.
Oh, yeah.
I'm live streaming.
He got the message right there. Somebody told him he was live streaming, right?
If they hadn't told him, you think it would have been like that for like the whole day?
Maybe.
So I have a theory, and this is like central to one of the things that like got me to despise Jordan Peterson as much as I do. I have a theory that one of the reasons why he's so bad now is entirely because of the coma, and like I think the coma should be like addressed more often, because it's centralized to one of the main problems with Jordan Peterson. So the story goes as thus: his wife had cancer, which is terrible. It's awful. It's not funny at all. He also had a bout of like really weird health things happen that he claims, like he had apple cider vinegar and it caused him not sleep for 24 days or whatever. He somehow got hooked on benzodiazepines. Now, a benzodiazepine addiction is very, very serious, and I'm not discounting that at all. What I am discounting is how he decided to address it. His daughter, who's a fucking psychopath and a piece of shit, and I know you talked to her before, but I fucking hate Michaela. I think she's a piece of shit. She took him to Eastern fucking Europe. He got put into a chemically induced coma so that he wouldn't have to feel the withdrawal symptoms of detoxing off of an addiction to benzodiazepines. Now, as somebody who has helped many friends deal with addiction and have to go cold turkey and spend those shitty fucking nights addressing their fucking demons, I find the idea of somebody dealing with their addictions by hiding in a coma to be reprehensible and up. Not only that, but being put into a chemically induced coma can cause brain damage. It can fuck you up mentally in some sketch ass fucking clinic. Now, while he's in this sketch ass fucking clinic, Michaela goes and fucking dates Cobra Tate and runs around all these Eastern European fucking clubs getting COVID.
Okay, hold on.
This is all true.
She dated Cobra Tate?
She fucking dated Cobra. This
Okay,
is all
stop.
fucking
This
true.
is all we needed to hear. Jordan Peterson is the way he is because he's trying to process the fact that his daughter dated Cobra Tate. He's having his Hulk Hogan moment.
People in my chat didn't know this. They're losing their she did it.
Holy shit.
Well, I talked with Michaela on I did a thing with her podcast and I talked with her a bit before and after. It's pretty wild shit. Personally, I think the greatest irony is that Jordan Peterson is supposed to be like the, clean your broom bucko type guy, and all the major pivots in his life seem to be him avoiding like something, The benzodiazepine addiction is a coping mechanism, the being put in a coma because you can't deal with the withdrawal symptoms. It seems like so much of the stuff that happens is a product, like for the guy who is like famed for it, he's never had that like puff your chest out and deal with it experience himself. He's never really had like a character building arc on him.
But my guy's over here spelling out how to be the alpha male, that his daughter gets Cobra-tated. He's fucking breaking inside. He's pissed.
Well, the funny thing is that Jordan Peterson and Tate are like really two sides of the same coin in terms of the like desperate young guy looking to reclaim a masculine identity goes online and finds a surrogate daddy. And you can either have like the world's most obviously insecure, like looks like a gay porn star, but with a less attractive face, Andrew Tate, or you can have, the Auschwitz doctor. It's not really a good picking out there.
It's the two dads you get. You get the dad that doesn't really care much for you, but he pays your bills, or you get the cool dad that's there on the weekend, buys you ice cream, then leaves.
Yeah. Like, stick with your dad at birth. Probably. It's probably a better bet.
Go with your birth dad.
Yeah.
Fuck your real dad.
This is what's super fucking essential when it comes to people like analyzing Jordan Peterson, okay? Like you can think of him as like a philosopher, but he's bad at it, okay? You can think about him as a psychologist, but he's bad at it, okay? You can think about him as a self-help guru, and he doesn't have bad advice. But the reason why you should never listen to Jordan Peterson about life advice, why the 12 rules for life, while maps of meaning, despite the whole grandma rubbing her pubes on his face stream, despite that, the reason why you should never listen to Jordan Peterson is that he does not practice what he preaches. He runs from the things that are uncomfortable to him. He is weak. He is spineless. He's a fucking coward. I've helped so many people, held their fucking hands while they shook through the fucking night dealing with fucking
addiction.
addiction.
So is JP's all-meat diet him reveling against his mother for making him eat his vegetables?
Probably.
I don't like broccoli.
That shit's so disgusting too.
But if a sketchy ass drug addict, all hopped up and trying desperately to get off fucking heroin, shows more fucking cojones than Jordan fucking Peterson, who's a rich piece of shit with a dumb for a goddamn daughter, and overwhelmingly fucking rich off the backs of ignorant, dumb, easily influenced fucking little kids. That, like, if that person, that scum, can have more courage than Jordan Peterson, nobody should be listening to this fucking guy. Nobody should be buying his fucking books. Fuck him.
That's easy to say, but look at like Jordan Peterson's not the only one. You got Jack Murphy, you got Fresh and Fit. You have all these betas that realize somebody sold them the 20 you mail in for the 20, spend $20, I'll tell you how to become a millionaire. And you send you $20 and you get a letter back saying, tell people that if they send you $20 they'll become a millionaire. And then they just perpetuate the scam. It's all a scam.
Nah, man, fuck them all. You really want some self-help advice? It's very, very simple. Cultivate good people in your fucking life. Be honest, be open, make boundaries, hold to your fucking boundaries, and hope that you have somebody good enough in your life that's going to support you to get you out of a bad situation. That's it. Because these internet fucking grifters, they don't care about you. They don't fucking care about you. They don't like you. They want your fucking money. Fuck those people.
Someone sent in a dono and they wanted me to show Vaush Kermit's a bitch for some reason.
This is a classic right here. It's
Yeah.
because not for some reason. It's because Jordan Peterson sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
Does it?
Kermit's a bitch. Every time you hear a goddamn frog try to talk about the reasons called now. Kermit's a bitch. That's right. Kermit's a bitch. Motherfucker haters say that's Kermit's a bitch. Every time you try and fuck with the reason in the spot. And here to tell you why. Kermit's a bitch. Kermit is a bitch. Why he a pussy ass frog? Krispy Kreme
Why he a pussy ass frog?
Try to
I like
call
frogs.
himself. He see me on I-10, which I don't even go near on I-10. Or lying ass goddamn frog.
This is like almost 8 minutes long.
I
So
don't want to try and get my twin. I'll beat your goddamn ass about
He's got some intensity though.
He's those.
Look at him.
Kermit's a bitch.
Look at him.
He's feeling it, man. He's feeling it.
So of course Kermit's not gonna let someone diss him though,
Oh,
right?
he ain't a bitch.
No. And I'll tell you what, Kermit dropped one hell of a diss track here.
Dereezy's a bitch. Dereezy's a bitch. Sucking ass dick. Sucking big green grass Kermit old dick.
Damn.
Dereezy's a bitch. Dereezy's a bitch. Never got pussy once in his whole life. Sucking up big old green ass cock. Dereezy's a bitch. Dereezy's a bitch. Making YouTube videos like a snitch. Dereezy's a
Here's
bitch.
Negan with a Patreon
Dereezy's
year.
a bitch.
Thank you, Pete.
Won't meet
Here, Negan.
Kermit on the streets. He's a bitch.
He's a
You
bitch.
suck big old tadpole dick. Dereezy's a bitch.
You suck
Dereezy's
big
a
old
bitch.
tadpole dick.
Sucking on my
Tadpoles
dick
are
while
not
I'm
known
playing-
for their giant phalluses.
How would you
That's
know?
not what tadpoles are. Tadpoles are the babies of the species.
Tadpoles are like 1/3 dick. That's like the
Are you sure?
1/3 dick.
dick, isn't
But
it?
even if it's 1/3, it's a tadpole. It's nigh the size of your own cummies.
Proportionate, okay? Okay.
I don't care if it's proportionate. I don't have a proportionate dick, but I still slang meat. I'm 6'3", 500 pounds. To have a proportionate dick, I'd have to have a fucking puncher in front of me spinning like a rotisserie chicken.
It's not
But I have
the-
a good one.
It's not the size
4
of the
nights of streaming in a row must be my birthday.
No, it's my
Or,
birthday.
Well, it was.
We're getting it all out of the way. Happy birthday, Killer Beehive.
It's not the size of the unit, it's how quick it makes you lose it. It's simple as that, man. You know?
It's just a race. Whoever, the faster you come, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't get, people are so weird about this. You're obviously competing.
It's a simple thing, guys. Look up race realism. It's all a race.
Do you guys know, I feel like when it comes to like these surrogate dad online grifter types, you know, I feel like the only ones that are actually good at that are the ones who never actually talk about it. There are a lot of really cool guys online, but all the ones out there who actually have like a positive message to share on masculinity or living a good life don't fucking talk about it because it gets weird, right? Like it, like, you know, even the gender abolitionist perspective, because I don't care about any of this shit in a prescriptive sense. But if you're gonna get like an understanding of the archetype, you know, probably the last people you want to listen to are the people whose paychecks rely on them being able to sell you the most convincing narrative about what you should be, because that doesn't necessarily overlap with anything good, right? Like, you wouldn't want to get all your cooking advice from people who can produce the most interesting recipes. That would be pretty dumb. You might want to, you know, go with better advice than that.
I don't like to use this phrase too often because it kind of is derogatory towards teachers, but they say those who can do, those who can't teach. And I think in this case, when you're starting a hustler university or whatever the hell it is, like they would just be out there doing it. They wouldn't be coming to you for their $50 a month. It's a scam.
Yeah,
You're being scammed. You're a lonely fucking man because somewhere in life you didn't learn how to tie your shoe and wipe your ass and you couldn't find anybody to love you, even though you're lovable, okay? That's the big thing. Everybody's lovable. There's someone so pathetic out there that they will even love you, you minuscule twerp. But you're not finding them because you got your eyes fixed way out of your league. You all want to go kiss Amaranth's puckering calamari ring. You can't have it.
Detox when I got sober, which is almost identical to benzo detox, and it was the worst experience of my life. Terrifying hallucinations, drenched in sweat plus shaking, can't sleep for days, constantly dry heaving and potential for seizures plus stroke.
Yeah.
Y'all see the Orville? more into money for you.
Nice follow up to that.
I've heard it fucking sucks. I wouldn't. Oh, sorry.
Listen,
Next week is gonna be a very fun week, and to make Billy extremely happy, Goldie and I will be heading on a trip. Where to?
Yeah,
You'll just have to wait and see. Smile.
I have Egghead's promo.
That being said, you'll be fine if you're in a facility and you need to go through that so you remember why you need to stay sober.
Right.
Yeah, anybody trying to get sober by any means necessary.
Egghead's promo that he sent me is very cringy.
For me, the main thing is just Jordan Peterson has this ideology of like uber self-sufficiency, like the whole don't criticize the world until you've fixed yourself, which invalidates everything he's ever said. And two, he never seems to be that like forthcoming about anything. Whenever every time he like, even with regards to his personal issues, he's not very humanizing. Like even when he talks about his own life and his own experiences, it never feels like he's really drawing a connection between the stuff that he does and the stuff that he says. It's almost like the stuff that he is, his actual personality and experiences, are just kind of an incidental obstacle between him and selling you his ideology. You know, it's not a humanist framework. You know what I mean?
We just saw him in a candid video with his wife,
looking like a robot,
and she had to bait him. She had to bait him with a article to get him to talk to her. Right. He's not human. He's got no humanity. He cries. They're probably crocodile tears when he cries for those lonely men out there. Because he knows he's going to lose them if he doesn't shape up and follow the Nazi line.
My favorite video of his was the post Twitter ban video, because he lost it at that point.
It was so funny.
Yeah. That was very funny. What rules?
I'm glad we have Jordan Peterson.
You woke sons of bitches.
You finally done it.
Well, that was the video that really kicked it out, right? I mean, that video, like any sane person will look at that video and think, wow, what a psychopath. He loses credibility as any kind of like genteel, professor who has your best interests at heart. As soon as he, what rules?
Did he have a practice at one point? Did he have actual patients?
He says that he has. But I think he overstates the extent to which he actually used that practice. Because he talked about continuing to see people up until he left Toronto University, which was only a couple months ago. But I do not think this guy, with his immense e-fame, who's making millions off of his books and like his speaking tours and everything, I don't think this guy's sitting down in a room for an hour to talk with like Becky or whatever. So I think he might have at some point, but I think he lied about it for a while afterwards, because I can't imagine. Plus, the idea of him doing any practice in general, I mean, leaving aside the modern brain damage, like, can you imagine talking to Jordan Peterson about your problems for an hour? How the fuck would that go? That sounds insane.
I did Feels okay, buddy. Vaush, man.
Never, Balthasar. Don't listen to him.
I did do a deep dive researching to try and find whether or not he had a clinical practice. I never found one. I never found
Ever?
One. No, never. And I mean, like, I spent maybe only like 4 or 5 hours trying to find it. So, I mean, it's not that it doesn't exist, but if it wasn't substantial enough that I was able to find it in that time. And I'm usually pretty good about finding that kind of stuff. So I'm not saying that it didn't.
But a clinical practice would have to be registered with the state, right? Like that seems like a thing that'd be decently easy to find.
Right. He was primarily just an educator.
Yeah.
What's weird too, it comes back to that some more news video is if you want to find any kind of like rating as far as like his performance as a teacher prior to him gaining any prestige online before the C16 stuff, he didn't really have that great of a favorable review.
I saw some of the early ratings.
Yeah, and like the favorable ones were like
Vaush, not in third world countries like Canada.
There.
I can't keep records.
So like the positive reviews are all like he changed my life, and the non-positive reviews were like it's gibberish, and I fact checked some things and he's wrong, and like it's been going on for like a while. Like
it's just really fucked up to imagine. Like I'm imagining back when I was in uni, and I'm trying to think like, what if my craziest, least coherent professor suddenly became an international sensation? I would
Oh,
feel really bad about that. That would suck. That would really negatively impact my desire to continue living. I have to say, Jesus Christ.
I had a lunch lady that got into porn. That's about as close as I can get to that.
That's base though.
I had this incredible professor, and she taught a social deviance course. And my God, the good she could do if she became as famous as Jordan Peterson, man, she was absolutely incredible.
Social
Absolutely.
deviance professors are like top tier. You have to be so fucking on it to be able to teach that.
Oh my God. Like the only thing that was more amazing than how beautiful she was how fucking fierce and logical and on point her topics of prison abolition was. Like just like top tier fucking human.
Good to slip that in. We're talking about like sociology, and you're like, okay, so in addition to her having the ripest tits,
I
just
started
the
cleaning
fattest
up and
fucking
ended up
titties.
in a Moscow rehab facility with a bitch of a lobster daughter who dated fuckwits and got COVID.
No, like this is
Sorry.
like incredible human being, because not only was she a beautiful person outside, inside everything that was coming out was so radical and well thought, and like I had the biggest fucking crush on this teacher.
Nah, I get
She
it. Radiant.
incredible. Oh my God, incredible. Absolutely incredible. Changed my life.
By the way, that dono that just came in with the whole Michaela Peterson COVID thing, when I did the interview with her, and I had a cough at the time, so I was like, oh, if I have a cough, like no big, and she was like, oh, no worries, I just caught COVID for the third time, so.
The third time,
third.
wow.
Yeah. So, well, she's living it up. Truly invulnerable. It's like the lady from the beginning, white women. If you have no shame, you simply never experience the consequences. That works against COVID, I think. If you're a COVID denier, you actually deny its effect on your body. It's powerful stuff.
By the way, I got a DM from her ex-husband like a little while back. I just like checked my DM.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is he mad?
Oh no. He was like, hey, there's bits of information I could give you right now, but I'm not sure by the time you see this, it'll be relevant to your stream.
Is he still doing influencer stuff? Should we ask him to be a guest
he doesn't
on the show?
no. See, like people gave up that shit. Like him and others like disappeared from their influencer stuff and moved far away from her.
Sure.
It's crazy.
Sure.
That seems to be a recurring theme of this show. White women getting other people to move far away.
Yeah.
I like it.
Maybe that's the residing lesson. Maybe we should just date
Restart MGTOW.
white
We should
men.
restart MGTOW.